Hi everyone, welcome to your Walkthrough Wednesday. I'm Sean Dillman. This is episode number 6. In this episode, I'll be showing you how to redact documents using Adobe Acrobat. I've actually already covered this subject in a lesson preview video for my course, but there was recently a story in the news of a lawyer who tried to redact a document using Microsoft Word, and he didn't do it correctly, and the document that he produced was not actually redacted. This unfortunately caused some problems and landed him in the news. I wanted to make this video as something of a refresher and to trace the wrong steps that I believe that he took to make his document in Microsoft Word and show you why it didn't work. Okay, so to start with what I believe that the lawyer did, here I am in Microsoft Word. I have some text on the screen, as you can see, and I have some sample sensitive information. As I understand it, the lawyer used the highlight tool to put black marks over the text that he wanted to redact. Now, if he were to print off these documents in paper form, this technique may actually work, because the printer would put black ink or toner over the text. However, as I understand it, he saved the document or printed it to a digital version in PDF format, which is a perfectly normal thing to do. I convert Word documents into PDF documents all the time. However, the problem that the lawyer ran into is as follows. By turning his Word document into a PDF, he produced a document which had black marks over the text that he wanted to have redacted, as you can see here. But the problem is that the black marks are simply elements of the document which are sitting on the text. As you can see, if I select all of the text in the document and change the color to red, voila, I can see all of the text under the black highlighting. Even without changing the color of the text, I can press Ctrl+A and then Ctrl+C to copy all of the data on the page, open a trusty notepad file, and press Ctrl+V to paste the data. One way to think about Adobe PDF documents is that they're made up of layers. For this document, these layers include the background, the text, the highlighting, and the photo. Because these layers make up the document, they can simply be moved around, edited, or removed. As you can see, I can actually drag the text to a different location on the page. I can also drag the black highlighting to another location. The reason that I can do this is because the black highlighting was simply a layer that was sitting on top of the text. So how can you properly redact a document? Well, to start, don't use Microsoft Word. I've seen online guides for how to redact using Word, but to me, they're too convoluted and the potential for error is far too great. I strongly recommend using Adobe Acrobat. Using a clean copy of our sample document, click on the More Tools button in the right-hand side of the screen, and then scroll down to the section which says Protect and Standardize. You'll see here where it says Redact. Click on this icon and you are now using the Redact function. Using the cursor, highlight the text that you want to redact. You can also draw rectangles over different areas that you may also wish to redact. So let's say I also want to redact the photo. I can simply draw a rectangle over it. If you hover your mouse over an area that you've already set to redact, it'll show you a preview of what it'll look like once it's redacted. Once you're done highlighting different areas of the document, click Apply, and a box will come up which says, "This will permanently remove the redacted information from this document." Once you save this document, you won't be able to retrieve the redacted information. Your document might contain sensitive data and metadata. Do you wish to remove them too? There's a slider which will be set to sanitize and remove hidden information. Be sure that this is left on, meaning it will be blue. Then click OK. The software will prompt you to save a new version of the document because you're making a new version which is redacted. Save the document to your desired location and then click Save. You now have a version of your document which has been redacted using Adobe Acrobat. As the message said, everything in the document is redacted, including the metadata and any hidden data in the file, as well as any areas that you have redacted. These will not be able to be retrieved from the document again. This is exactly what we want, and in my opinion, the lawyer from the news story should have used Adobe Acrobat to redact his document. If he would have followed these steps, he likely wouldn't have caused the problem and wouldn't have ended up in the news. I hope that you found this video to be helpful and that it may help you avoid making the same mistake. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and found it to be helpful, please leave a like, comment, follow, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have an idea for a future walkthrough, please just let me know. Thank you very much to Chad Stewart for requesting next week's walkthrough, which will be on how to get started using Microsoft OneNote to take notes and track and organize information. As always, I'm Sean Dillman.